All right, everyone, we are here with War Off Season 3. I'm going to be taking in Mr. Negative, Falcon, and Venompool. I'm going to have Path 7 in Section 1 and Path 1 in Section 2. So I was curious about this Mangog with kinetic transference. Obviously, the reduced, I think the power bond is what it's called, isn't a big deal because I'm using Mr. Negative and he doesn't power drain. We're just getting double petrify up and hoping his passive power gain goes backwards. So game plan here, we're going to parry heavy a lot at the start. AI willing. I used an APB because I had some expiring. And ideally for this fight, Mangog anywhere using Mr. Negative, I'm going to want to use an APB just so that I can get to that SP2 as fast as possible without him firing off too many SP1s. Obviously, if he gets to SP2 here, it's going to be more of a pain with kinetic transference. So here we go, going to convert this light, throw this SP2 with 13 dark energy. So 14 degens and double petrify, and he's just going to melt here. So nothing special, just took him right on down with Mr. Negative. I'm starting to love him with a PS1 or an APB, so I'm glad I'm getting comfortable with that. Going to use Falcon here for Thing on Brute Force, nothing special. I didn't turn off the Assassin Mastery. I'm just going to make sure that the last bit I have locked on, ready to go, so that we don't mess up rock stacks and he go unstoppable. I think it's going to take 2 rounds of locked on here. Again, I used the combat regen because I had some expiring, thanks to all those gameplay issue rewards or compensation. So going pretty smooth here. He's almost at 50% with the first locked on. No rock stacks being built, obviously. Brute force isn't coming into play too much. I am not going to hit him too much without locked on. I'm just going to hit enough to reset the brute force timer. And there's the second locked on. So now we're going to drop this SB2 with locked on. And this should just about do it. Now we're just going to finish him off with some combos. Almost there, last bit. And down he goes. So even with Vivified, not too bad, especially since he was willing to throw specials. Moving on, I have never taken Mixed Master with Falcon. And this time it was a Tigra. So was curious to see how difficult this would be. What you're going to see is while locked on, I'm going to do medium, light, and that's just so that we technically trigger evade as much as possible while she's locked on, and therefore build the crit damage. So you'll see those numbers. I should get 2 every combo. If I was ending with a medium, I'd only get 1, just because of the way the evade works with Mix Master. So that's the end of 1 locked on. We're down to 63%. Now we just got to make sure that we're doing medium light so that we don't trigger evade. So that's what you're seeing me do, medium light and back off, or medium light parry. I normally have resonate on. Here's the second locked on. So we're going to have a few opportunities where weakness is on. We don't have to worry about her special attacks going unblockable. So again, a nice little bonus. Locked on is ending again, so now we're back to the medium lights. There's the one time I trigger evade without locked on. I knew it was coming, so I was prepared. And it's just being mindful of that combo. Here's the last locked on, and this should just about do it. 1% left. And down she goes. So it's a pretty smooth fight. All right, so path 1 in section 2, we got the SpiderHam on Vigor. Going to take this with Falcon. Only thing we really have to worry about here is paying attention to when his poppers are on you, so that we don't take power sting damage from SP1 or SP2, or any specials, I should say. But the health pool here, and since he has suicides, isn't very big. So I believe I just stick to combos. There was one time during this fight I decided to retaliate that heavy, and I knew it was late. So took some unwanted damage, not a big deal. Gonna heal a little bit from the popper, but as you can tell, this fight went so quick that, and I knew my locked on fell there, so luckily we didn't take any extra damage and he died from suicides. That we're not gonna worry about the health lost. Moving on to a fun one, Doom on Buffet. I thought about using a combat regen here. That's what I'm kind of looking at, because I thought I had one expiring, but I didn't check before this fight, which kind of sucked because I did have one expiring and I didn't use one. So downside to not using a PS1 here is that we'll get to SP2 and there's a chance his aura is up, so it's harder to drop the SP2. But as long as you play it right and you just stay away from Doom long enough, once you get to SP2, you can drop it without any worry. So I pushed myself to 11 dark energy here. Now we have to play smart, not push him too far. Here comes an evade counter out of my block so that he didn't throw SP1, and there's the big SP2, and he just melts. So buffet fun with Mr. Negative. All right, so just thought for fun, might as well take this Purgatory on AoE, especially since I know how to dodge her SP2. So even if it does go unblockable, I'm going to be able to dodge it. No APB here, although for this node, I would like to use an APB. You can see here, I forgot that the volume was off. So I turned it on mid-fight while I was parry heavying. Building that light energy, converting the dark. You see the unfazed mastery kicking in there, which is fine. I'm going to ignore it. I only have to evade counter one more time during this fight. So even if it does go unfazed, hopefully we don't get comboed. And there we go. Reach the SP2, so now I got the double petrify, so power gain's getting reversed. She's just melting from the 15 degen, and now we're in the last bit. Now I'm not going to worry about getting to SP2. It's just finished the fight. She's still got the double petrify up. There, I thought I was out of range. Obviously, I wasn't. Of course, that hit while the double petrify was gone. Drop this SP2 without converting to 10, and it should knock her out, and down she goes. All right, so we get another attempt at Peni Parker. Someone tried to take her linked. So the damage is not me, it's from someone else. I'm going to take this fight unboosted. Nothing was about to expire, and I had already taken it last off-season war. So again, game plan, I placed the Fey Food energy, combat energy, to increase the chance of it showing up first, which it did. And it also should increase the potency due to SIG ability. Now we're going to hit into block, remove that shield of hers. She didn't have any Spidey charges here, so she shouldn't auto block. Now she does, so we got to be prepared for our hits causing the auto block, which they do there. And here we're just pushing to SP3 as we remove her shield. And now the shield is down, so now she just got Spidey charges, shouldn't auto block again. We're getting close to SP3, not quite there yet. Baiting out these heavies and retaliating. Okay, now we're close. We're gonna bait out this SP1. We're gonna throw this heavy early because I realized it was too far, so that the second hit would reach, and then we drop this SP3 with the vicious buff on. And now the game plan is to take and do all the blocked hits or the hits to build that spicy combo meter to 100 so that we pause this bleed debuff. And I believe you'll see through the videos that this bleed debuff lasts for 40% of her health taken. So You'll see I'm ending combos short, even if I do manage to land. It's just so that we don't get auto-blocked and slapped in the face like we did last war. And here's the last of that bleed debuff. And now what's going to end up happening is we're just going to end up comboing her to death. So we got 5 Fury buffs. We're sitting pretty. Combos should be enough. It's not likely we'll get to SP 3 before she gets KO'd. There's a chance though. Getting some big hits in. I don't want to drop this special while she can still auto block. So we're still hitting into block and hitting her, and boom, down she goes. So another clean Venom, or a clean Venom fight. Venom pool fight. He's definitely fun for her. Thanks for stopping by and watching. See you guys at the next one.